You've been able to receive television for a considerable number of years. What were the main problems with it?
Oh, it just wasn't worth watching, Tony. It's all snowy. You had to put a bed paper over to, to see any reasonable picture there. Well, no one bothered watching it. So bad it was.
So what gave you the idea of a repeater station to correct this?
Well, actually, Neil came to put an antenna up to me to see if I could get a better picture. And then we thought of the pensioners and our people of the town, and I asked him, was it possible? And it developed from there, and it slowly developed, and it's taken us 12 months to get in, and now it's perfect. It's pretty good.
You've now formed the Jamison Television Society. Could you give us a bit of a history how the whole project developed?
Well, we had a meeting in the hall on the 24th of April last year, and there will be about 150 people there. Then we discussed it. We formed a committee, President, Secretary, Treasurer, committee, and they decided to go ahead with it. So we left it in Neil's hands to see the broadcast control board and do all the rigmarole and that sort of caper, and it's slowly developed. It's taken 12 months. We finally got him, and it's perfect. It's pretty good.
So you now receive a satisfactory picture that makes it worth watching?
Oh, yes, very good. Yeah, very good. Very good it is, yeah.
Being a private venture by the townspeople, obviously you had to raise money. How did you go about this?
Well, we called for donations first, Tony. We raised approximately about $1,600. There was big donations. Pensioners put in what they could afford, and other people put in what they could afford. Then we finally decided to go to the SSB in Mansfield, and we got a bank loan of $3,000. We've got to repay that back at $67 per month over 5 years. But we're still open for donations.
Now, how many families in the area would be participating in this scheme?
Oh, I'd say about 90.
Would this be a fair representation of the whole community?
Well, we get a lot of caravanners, and they've been pretty good too. They put in their donations like $10 and $5 and even $1. They put it in that way and slowly build it up, we hope the powers that be will come to the party too and put in a few little shekels.
Now, having established it at a cost of nearly $4,000, I believe?
$4,495.
There's also the question of future maintenance. How are you going to allow for this?
Well, I think we'll finish up with Neil on a basis, like a yearly basis, to maintain it. Then we'll insure it against vandalism and things like that, fire and tempest, whatever. Insure the translator against that, and then we'll have Neil, probably get Neil in. It must add to the potential of the town. With caravanners, they can come in with it portable and put up a small antenna, and they can get their favourite programs that they want to watch when they're in town or in Shepparton or wherever they come from. They can watch their favourite programs when they come up here with a portable television set.
So to sum it up, you see the reception of good television in Jamison as an integral part of the town's future and development?
No, most definitely.
When you were first approached about the idea of a repeater station, how did you look at the problem, and what were the main problems you were involved with?
Well, I'd had my eye on Jamison for some sort of a repeater or a cable system for a number of years, but I felt that a cable system would be defeated by the cost of it. This is a direct cable link to the householders from this hill where I anticipated we'd get good signals, but I felt that the authorities would not allow the installation of a repeater. This was brought to a head when Mr. Clapton approached me and asked me what I could do about the whole problem. So I went and saw the authorities and was encouraged by them, and from this time Bruce and I did some tests and found that the system that I had in mind worked very well. Then we got the OK from the board to go on the air, and it's gone from there. Basically all it consists of is a receiving aerial, a length of cable for approximately 100 yards, and an amplifier, and then a transmitting aerial. So that effectively the signal's being picked up in a good spot, taken to a good vantage point, and then retransmitted to the bad spots. The result is perfect television with a small aerial.
In other words, you're simply lifting the signal across the mountain.
Exactly.
Now, what about the technical problems you incurred? It's pretty difficult terrain to work on.
We did. The biggest problem was getting up and down the hill. There were no real technical problems. There's nothing has come to light in this whole project that wasn't anticipated. So you could really say that that it was just that nobody, as far as I know, this hasn't been done anywhere else in the world. And it's just that I think nobody has really perhaps conceived the idea or tried the idea.
Now, Jamison, a community of 90 families, has got together for this project. A television transmitter, as such, is a very expensive proposition, so this means you had to design something that was within the reach of a small community.
Well, this is the whole concept. This system uses everyday equipment that would be found in a large television installation in a motel or a block of flats. And this is the concept that's new. In fact, it's patented. The whole concept of using everyday equipment rather than studio quality equipment.
Can you see this becoming a commercial proposition for other towns or communities in a similar situation?
Yes, I can. I think there are probably numerous towns along the east coast, right down the east coast of Australia, where this sort of system would be very satisfactory. In fact, I'm working on another one now, which will be the same concept, but it will change frequencies, the same as the translator Alex and Eildon, and I'm hoping to have that approved by authorities too. And this will mean that any difficult area practically can be covered by one of these